day.
There's apples under pressure.
You buy stocks on Tuesday and sell them on Friday.
The market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it.
This video is sponsored by the award-winning Daily Market Movements trading platform. To open a live or demo account, simply visit dmmtradingplatform.com. Hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analysing the Nasdaq100 futures chart. Just before I start today's video, anyone who's interested in joining my free analysis group over on Telegram, then please do not hesitate to scan this QR code on your screen. But let's start with the Nasdaq100. Good news and bad news. I'm going to start with the good news first of all. And the good news is that I believe that the tradable bottom for the rest of 2022 is now in. What does this mean? Does this mean that this is the official bottom? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a tradable bottom for the rest of the year. Do I think that we could easily break it going into 2023? Absolutely. I think there's actually a very high probability of that happening. But the bad news is that, I feel like it's going to be very choppy from now until the end of the month. So I think that's what you should take away from this video, is that the good news is that this is a tradable bottom. I personally do not believe we break below 10,500 for the rest of 2022, although I do believe there is a possibility of it occurring as we go into the first couple of months of 2023. And then, of course, the bad news is that we are going to see a lot of chop for the next couple of weeks here in the Nasdaq100 as the market's just kind of trying to suss out, trying to get a sense of direction here. We saw it yesterday. We were up 2.5%. We then broke even. Then the markets had a nice bounce back with a few hours left to go in the trading session. Then we gave it all up going into the close. And then after the closing bell, we had Netflix that reported a stellar quarter, and that dragged the markets up to finish at roughly 1.5%. So it's going to be very choppy, and I know that many investors out there will say, oh, well, this is a trader's market. And yes, they are right in some ways, due to there being high amounts of volatility. But I don't see it as a trader's market. When you're seeing so much chop like we saw during yesterday's trading session, it is incredibly difficult to predict where the market's going to be. So I'm kind of taking more of a medium-term bias as I trade this market, because I'm not clever enough, I'm not smart enough, and I don't think anyone really is, to predict where the market's going to be in 1 hour's time or in 1 day's time from now. It's incredibly difficult. Anything can happen. I think it's a lot more reasonable to try and predict where the market's going to be this time next week or this time next month more so. So, as I've continued to mention over the past couple of weeks, I do believe that we are now forming this ABC correction. I feel like we work up to that 50-day EMA. Let's quickly have a look at the Dow Jones 30. We're already at that 50-day EMA. S&P 500 is fastly approaching it, along with the Nasdaq 100. So I feel like that's going to be the end of this A leg. And then as we go into the final week or so of October, we will really struggle and have a minor pullback. But any pullbacks that occur, I do believe should be buying opportunities, because as we go into the month of November, that's when I'm really expecting a very strong month, as it is the midterms. And we will see that final push up towards roughly 12,500 here for the Nasdaq 100. And whether we break out of this downtrend is another question. As I said, I personally believe that we could go back down and retest the lows, as I do believe this is currently a bear market rally. So, lots of opportunity to make money out of there. It's just very difficult on a short-term basis. So if you are new to trading, you'll come across my YouTube channel, please do not be scalping these markets. It is almost impossible. You're gambling, you're guessing. You might draw up some trend lines, some supportive areas, etc. But, these markets are just incredibly difficult, and nothing's really being respected on a day-to-day basis. So I feel like you just need to, broaden out your time horizons, go a little bit further, look more weekly, monthly. And I think that you can do very well in this market. But short-term bullish here overall, I feel like with ABC correction still has to play out, and it will carry us higher.
There's apples under pressure.
You buy stocks on Tuesday and sell them on Friday.
The market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Traders saying this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it.